The 10 best countries to visit in Africa. Africa is the second largest and second most populous continent on Earth. It has more to offer than just safaris, beaches and the pyramids. Its 54 mainland countries and island nations all have their own history, heritage and culture, which is part of what makes travelling around Africa so interesting. Along its long coastline, there are beautiful beaches and rough cliffs. In its vast interior, there are mountains, deserts, tropical rainforests and the Nile River. There are amazing historical sites, small villages and huge cities spread out across these different landscapes. Welcome back to our channel, Travel Tales. In today's video, we will share with you the top 10 best countries to visit in Africa. So, without any delay, let's dive in. Namibia. Namibia is one of the least populated countries in Africa. It is in the southwest corner of the continent. This is because it has a lot of dry, empty landscapes and the harsh Namib Desert. Namibia was once a German colony. It got its independence from South Africa in 1990, so some buildings from that time can be seen in Windhoek, the country's capital. Most people, though, go there for its amazing national parks, which have stunning landscapes and amazing animals. For example, in Etosha National Park, you can see lions, elephants and black rhinos roaming around the Kalahari. Tourists also like to visit the Skeleton Coast, which has a dangerous Atlantic Ocean coast with a lot of shipwrecks that look both scary and beautiful. Even though Kenya, Tasmania and South Africa get more attention, Namibia and its amazing natural parks are hidden gems just waiting to be found. Tunisia. Tunisia is wedged between Algeria and Libya on the Mediterranean coast of North Africa. It has been a popular tourist destination for a long time. Lots of Europeans come here to relax on the golden sands and swim in the sea. They come because the weather is great and also the beaches are very nice. Tunisia has a lot more to offer than just sun, sea and sand. The country is full of amazing archaeological sites that date back thousands of years. This is because it has been ruled by many different groups over its long history, from the Carthaginians and Romans to the Ottomans, Arabs and finally the French. The beautiful Roman amphitheatre in El Jem and the remains and ruins of Carthage are without a doubt the most interesting historical sites. Uganda. Uganda is the only landlocked country in Africa. It has the tallest mountain range and the source of the Nile River. It also has the largest lake in Africa. Even though its tourism industry and infrastructure aren't as well developed as those of Kenya and Tanzania, this only makes its beautiful landscapes more exciting to explore. Uganda is slowly getting back its reputation as the Pearl of Africa, a name it hasn't had for a long time because of its troubled and tragic history. This is because it is one of only 3 places in the world where mountain gorillas live in the wild. The cloud rainforests of the Rwenzori Mountains are a great place to see the beautiful animals up close. It's a must-do if you are in Uganda. Mauritius. Even though it takes some time to get used to Mauritius, visitors are always amazed by the beautiful beaches, mountains and waterfalls. It is more than 1,000 kilometers east of Madagascar and is very far away. So some of the rarest plants and animals in the world live there. So hiking through its mountainous interior is a real treat, especially when you see flocks of brightly colored birds flying around above the tropical rainforest canopy. You'll find steep ravines, deep gorges and sparkling waterfalls tucked away under the thick trees. All in all, the volcanic landscapes are some of the most beautiful places you could ever imagine. Tanzania. Tanzania has so many things to see and do that it can be hard to know where to begin. The north of the country is home to the beautiful Ngorongoro crater and the world-famous Serengeti, both of which are must-sees if you want to go on safari and see the Big Five. Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa, is also here. It has a snowy top. In fact, this beautiful part of East Africa has a wide variety of landscapes, each more beautiful than the last. Its Indian Ocean coast, for example, has beautiful beaches and Dar es Salaam, the country's largest and most lively city. The amazing Zanzibar archipelago is just off the coast. It has many beautiful beaches and is a popular tourist destination in its own right. Tanzania is one of the most culturally and linguistically diverse countries in Africa. It is also home to some of the most important and impressive archaeological sites in the world, which date back thousands of years. Tanzania has something for everyone, whether you're interested in history, nature, culture, or wildlife. 3 of Africa's Great Lakes are partly in Tanzania. Seychelles. Seychelles is the smallest and least populated country in Africa. It is about 1,500 kilometers east of the continent's main land mass. The archipelago is made up of 115 islands, most of which are uninhabited. It is very beautiful and is surrounded by the sparkling waters of the Indian Ocean. Even though the Paradise Islands have beautiful beaches on the outside, their interiors are very mountainous and covered with lush rainforest. Because they are out in the middle of nowhere, they are home to many unique animals and plants, and most of them are now protected as nature reserves. Seychelles is a great place to go scuba diving or snorkeling because it has beautiful coral reefs and lots of sea life. Morocco. Morocco is a wonderful place to visit because it has so many beautiful old cities, medinas and souks. These are in beautiful places like the Atlantic and Mediterranean coasts, the Sahara dunes and the high Atlas Mountains. Morocco is the northwesternmost country on the African continent. It has been home to many different people and cultures for a long time, and its rich culture is now a mix of African, Arabic, Berber, and Western ideas. Everywhere you go, you can see this amazing variety. Essaouira, Fez, and Marrakesh are some of the most popular places for tourists to travel. In addition to visiting the busy Djema El Fana and the beautiful mountain city of Seychelles, tourists can relax on one of the country's beautiful beaches or go into the Sahara. Morocco is one of the most interesting places to visit in Africa because it has so many different sides. South Africa. South Africa is the most southern country on the continent. It has some of the best national parks and game reserves in Africa. Kruger is the most famous and most visited, but Addo Elephant National Park is also a popular place to go. South Africa is called the Rainbow Nation because of its diverse population. Its cities are interesting to visit because each of it has its own look, feel, and personality. Johannesburg is full of people and activity, but Cape Town is more laid back. The beautiful Stellenbosch wineries are close by, and Table Mountain looks over the city. South Africa is a beautiful place to visit. It has the tall Drakensberg Mountains, the dry Kalahari Desert, and the lush garden route. To top it all off, both the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean border the country, and both sides have beautiful scenery and great beaches. Many people who like to try new things go diving with great white sharks in the ocean. Kenya. Many people think of Kenya as the birthplace of safari because it is one of the best places in the world to see wildlife up close and personal. Its endless savannas and dry deserts are full of animals, including lions, elephants, buffalo, herds of antelope, flocks of flamingos, and even the occasional black rhino. Some of Africa's most famous people and cultures, like the Maasai and Kikuyu and Swahili, live in its dramatic landscapes. Each of these groups has its own rich language and traditions, in stark contrast to their old ways of life. Kenya is home to one of the most exciting cities on the continent, Nairobi, the country's bustling and busy capital. It has open plains, lakes with fresh water, and forests. From north to south, the Great Rift Valley cuts through it. All of these things, plus the beautiful Indian Ocean coastline, make Kenya one of the best places to visit, not just in East Africa, but on the whole continent. Egypt. Egypt is like no other country on earth. It is known for its ancient monuments and archaeological sites, such as the Giza Pyramids, the Great Sphinx, and the Valley of the Kings. Egypt was once home to one of the greatest civilizations and cultures in the world. History can be seen everywhere, from tombs and temples to statues and obelisks, all of which have been carefully carved. Egypt is the northeast corner of the continent. It is surrounded by Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, and the Sahara Desert. Egypt's lifeblood is the Nile River, which flows through the country. Many people come to Cairo to see its historical sites and all the things it has to offer, but just as many people come to enjoy the great beaches on the Red Sea. Egypt really does have something for everyone to enjoy. There is so much history and culture to learn about, and the desert and the coast are both beautiful. Well, that's it for today, guys. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to get the latest updates about the fresh and interesting content we keep on posting. See you in the next one.